focused on the importance of protecting student privacy and transparency about student data. And in your opinion, what is the most critical piece to protecting the student privacy? But at the same time, we have to have the data to kind of understand how we need to improve our education product. How do we do this?
Again, I would have to say that we focus on aggregate data and consent for personal data, and recognizing that I think that it's important, whereas we certainly need data, but data can be, the importance of it can be exaggerated as well. I think that maybe we need to retain a certain degree of humility about what the government can do, what sort of system it can maintain, whether it can keep it safe, and what policy decisions it can make based on that data. Because I live in Georgia, and there are decisions that are being made based on certain parts of data which we think are just absolutely wrong, and they will prove to be wrong, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So
how do we correct that?
That's a very good question. How we correct that? One thing we need to do is to put parents more back in charge of their children's education, which is what has not been happening for a long time. There are parents who don't want their children to be going down a particular path that the government has decided is the best way, that they have to study this or they have to study that. There are children who don't want to do that. There are parents who don't want that for their children. We need to put parents back in charge.
We know if you're not reading at a third grade level, when you graduate from the third grade, you're likely not to graduate from high school. So obviously we need to get that fixed first, and then we can move on to these other things. As far as the suggestions you made, how do we prioritize that and make that happen? And I'll tell you a story real quick, and I'm going to run out of time here, but we did, in an inner city school in my district, we did theme schools. And you had to sign up for either the STEM school or the leadership school. And parents had to do this for elementary school students. And the sign-up date was on a Saturday at 8 o'clock a.m. Parents were lined up at 5 a.m. to get their students to the school they wanted to go to. Amazing parental involvement. Do you know what the graduation rate is in that inner city school right now? 96% in the 12th District of Georgia. That'll tell you a little bit about, and I agree with you on parental involvement, but somehow we've got to be innovative on how to get the parents involved with the system. As far as another quick question, do you see a need to collect student data to inform instruction and improve the education practice?
Yes, but it needs to be truly unbiased. What we have seen over the last 30 years in education research, a lot of the times that is funded by the government, it seems designed to reach a certain conclusion. It assumes policies rather than evaluates policies. And I think that we need more broad-based, more open research about policies that may be out of favor in certain segments, but that actually work better. And that's really not what we're seeing. If we're going to have the research, it needs to be unbiased research.